We are all set.
I was gonna say, Mike, you're all set?
Yep,
We have people out there in Cyberland?
there are 4 people connected on Zoom.
Okay, that's what I need to know. Thank you. All right, then, if we would. Mr. McLean, sir, would you lead us in the pledge of allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please, Ms. Malvar.
Commissioner McLean,
Here.
Commissioner Faustula,
Here.
Commissioner Savoy,
Here.
Commissioner Shackleton,
Here.
and Chairman Martin.
Here. Do we have any additions, deletions to the agenda?
I move approval of the agenda as presented. Support.
Motion support. Any discussion on the agenda? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Approval of county board minutes or board minutes? So moved.
Support.
And support to approve the county board minutes of the regular board meeting of August 11th, 2022. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Correspondence on page 5. Quite a late group of them.
I move that we acknowledge correspondence received from the clerk's office and forward them as appropriate.
Support. Motion and support to forward these correspondence to the appropriate place. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next, we have public comment. Rules are rather simple, 15 minutes on one subject, 3 minutes per person. Anyone care to speak publicly? No. Where are we at? Mike, do we have hands raised out there?
I don't have any indication. We have 6 people online, but no indication of anybody wanting to speak. Oh, Center for Change.
Okay, 'cause I was gonna say, because we gotta make sure that lag time.
Yep.
There's a lag.
Hey, they
time
should be good now.
Okay, thank you.
Good
Mike.
evening, this is Joanne Galloway. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent. Mike could change my name to Joanne Galloway for me if he likes. That ability for the users has been disabled on this call. Anyway, I just wanted to pop in real quickly this evening and let everyone know that the Center for Change is going to be launching an Anatomy of an Election Roadshow the first week of October across Northern Michigan. And we are working proactively to arm our community members with the knowledge and vocabulary to defend the security of our elections. We seek to inoculate our community against the mistruths, misinformation, and disinformation plaguing our communities. We hope to inspire, educate, and empower them to elevate truth and confidence in our democratic process. We are bringing to Northern Michigan Marie McKenna Wicks, MPA, a former East Lansing city clerk and the current elections assistant and precinct chair for the city of East Lansing. Ms. Wicks has extensive experience at all election levels. Of note, in 2015, she served on the Michigan Joint Evaluation Committee at the Michigan Bureau of Elections. This committee had the responsibility for vetting the 3 election equipment vendors that are used in the state of Michigan. We're excited to have a tour stop in Sault Ste. Marie on Tuesday, October 4th. The rest of the information will be forthcoming. It will be held at LSSU and it will be an evening event on Tuesday, October 4th at the, I can't think of the name of the building, overlooking the beautiful International Bridge. So thank you, and I'll be getting more information out and hope that you'll be inviting people in your circles to join us there. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Do we have anybody else out there in,
Yes, we have one more, Tiffany.
okay, thank you. Tiffany, go ahead.
Okay, can everybody hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great. Hi, I'm Tiffany Asherick. I just wanted to pop in today to just kind of address some concerns that I have about an issue that has been an issue in our community for quite a while, and I don't know, how many people just realize how much of an issue it is. Our Department of Corrections in Ross is greatly understaffed, and by when I say greatly understaffed, I mean our officers are getting mandated to extra shifts. At once it was once a pay period, next it was 2 times pay period. Now we're almost at 3 to 4 times a pay period. Officers are getting exhausted. They're walking off the job with 10, 15, even 20 years of service before retirement, and there are no staff members coming in behind them. I know that my husband is an officer, which is why, directly impacts our household, but he's close enough to retiring that he feels like he's kind of in it to win it now at this point. He's been having benefit after benefit taken away from the state because, he shouldn't even be on the mandate list anymore because he's earned his years of service to not be mandated anymore. But yet, all this time here, he has been subject to that, had that benefit taken away. He's mentioned that there's, talk in the, the Senate or the House or, wherever the powers may be, that there's, possibly going to be this new incentive package to try to get more officers either retained or hired or what. And I'm not sure if that's something where, given that, we have a pretty decent sized prison system here, if that's something that the county as a commission would have any pull, I guess, if there was any way of the commission reaching out to other communities that have prisons, to possibly collectively, reach out to these legislatures that are making decisions, to, I guess, in support of our officers, because, there's been a lot of prisons closing downstate, and, all that's doing is putting more criminals on our streets and, even more officers out of jobs that may not have even wanted to lose their job. So, I just want to stop to address that, something to think about, moving forward. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Tiffany. We will, as is our tradition, if we're going to respond to either of these, we will do so during commissioner comments. Mike, do we have any more?
There are no other hands raised.
Okay, we'll give it about 10 seconds. Last chance here to everyone here. Okay, last call, Mike. No hands?
Nobody.
Okay. Claire, public comment closed in 3, 2, 1. Comment closed. Next, new business.
Item 8, Mr. Chair.
Item 8, yeah. Item 8, Chippewa County Courthouse Complex Emergency Action Guideline on page 28 in your packet.
No, the administrator's report. You just got.
Oh, Jesus. Thank you.
It's okay.
Sorry, Kelly.
You're fine. All the reports are in there. My Michigan is caught up, and there is also one from recycling. And recycling is still trying to set up their next quarterly meeting, but the dates are just not working out.
They have, speaking of recycling, they have a free, you posted it, free electronics recycling coming up. When is it? It's October.
24. I thought it was September. There's one September 24th and then another in October.
This is the second one though, that is free.
Yes.
So people are always looking for ways to get rid of their old TVs, their old computers and all that. And they're gonna have a free recycling of those that you can bring them up. And I'll give you the exact date here in a second. It is Saturday, October 8th from 9 to noon.
I will be there.
A lot of people will be there.
Because last time we went, I think we dropped about $60
Yeah.
to a couple analog TVs and all that.
Well, there's one coming up that is one that you pay a nominal fee, but the second one is actually free. And it has some sponsors. I know Hewlett Packard and who else?
Was it Bay Mills?
Eagle, the Michigan Department of Environment. They put some money in between the two of them, I guess, and are sponsoring the cost of it. Anyway, I didn't mean to drag that out. Just you mentioned that recycling, and that's kind of a big deal to a lot of people. They will get rid of their stuff.
At our cabin right in front of our house, someone dropped the TV.
Yeah,
It's just like,
thanks.
yeah. So. Very much needed, ends up where it's supposed to. So anything on this, Kelly, we need to?
No action.
Okay, all right, so now new business, Chippewa County Courthouse Complex, page 20 in your packet.
This was sent out for you guys for review previously, and then we just need a motion to pass it. Then we'll get it signed, and then we will have a couple exercises where the new emergency manager, Mr. Postman, comes in, and we'll see what happens when we blow the fire alarm and see where everybody goes.
I'll make the motion to approve the courthouse complex emergency action guidelines plan.
Support.
Motion and support for Chippewa County Courthouse Complex Emergency Action Guidelines. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. EUP, authority resignation, vacancy appointment.
I would first move that we accept the resignation of Jim German with our thanks for his service. Support.
Motion and support, accept the resignation of Jim German. Any discussion? I will simply say thank you for many decades of service. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Next then, we must fill the vacancy expires December 31st, 2024. On page 29, you have Nicholas Height, Robert Malpass, Jeffrey Middlestead. And we're going to do a roll call on this, correct, Madam Clerk? Thank you.
Commissioner McLean,
Nicholas Hike,
Commissioner Postula,
Jeffrey Middlestead,
Commissioner Savoy,
Nicholas Height,
Commissioner Shackleton,
Nicholas Hike.
Chairman Martin.
Nicholas Height. So the board has selected Nicholas Height with thanks to Mr. Middlestead, and hope that he will put his name in the hat for another position that I'm sure will arise at some point. We need to take no further action on this, correct? Or should we motion to? Motion. Okay, a motion to accept then Nicholas Height as the UPTA replacement for Jim German. Any discussion?
I don't think we need to do that.
No?
We just,
Okay.
we did the vote, right?
Vote, okay, either one, 6-1 half dozen again. All right, Chippewa County EDC vacancy expires page 30. First, we have to accept the resignation of Ralph Wilhelms.
I move we accept the resignation of Ralph Roman. Support.
Support to accept the resignation of Ralph Wilhelms. Any discussion?
Ralph's been on the board for a number of years, and he's done an excellent job. He works at Lake State. And family issues, his family's back in Germany, and they've gotten elderly and ill, and he's just can't take strain anymore.
All right, then we'll also thank him for his service. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner McLean,
Are we accepting the resignation of
Oh,
Ralph first?
there was a motion for that already.
Yeah, we need a vote on that.
Did we?
right?
Yeah, we need a
We,
vote.
we had a motion and support, but we didn't actually vote.
Yeah.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Not bad. Gosh. Okay, now, Jack Frost and Todd Beam.
Commissioner McLean,
Jack Frost,
Commissioner Faustula,
Jack Frost.
Commissioner Savoy,
Jack Frost.
Commissioner Shackleton,
Jack Frost.
Chairman Martin.
Jack Frost. And hopefully Mr. Beam will continue to stay active. Congratulations to Mr. Frost.
And just
For
for
EDC vacancy.
just for clarification, the tally sheet is wrong. Mr. Brawley is already on that, and I should have taken his name off, but I didn't.
All right, standing committee reports, finance claims and accounts, Commissioner Savoy, Chairman, sir.
The regular meeting of Chippewa County Board of Commissioners Finance Claims and Accounts Committee was held on Tuesday, September 13, 2022 at 5:30 p.m. All board members were present. It was moved by Commissioner McLean, supported by Commissioner Shackleton. Approved the agenda as presented on voice vote. Motion carried. I would so move. Support.
Motion and support to approve the amended agenda. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
There were no public comments. We received correspondence and information item, no action necessary. Agenda items, Health Department. It was moved by Commissioner Shackleton, supported by Commissioner Martin to approve the 2022-2023 Health Department budget as presented, including authorizing the health officer's signature on various maintenance and support contracts and changing payroll supervisors from grade 19 to 20, home health aides, increasing home health part-time nurses hourly rate, and to approve health department organizational chart on voice vote. Motion carried. I would so move. Support.
Motion and support for health department budget and contracts. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Health Department peak revenue request moved by Commissioner Martin, supported by Commissioner McLean to approve and authorize peak revenue request 22-02 on voice vote. Motion carried. I would so move.
Support.
Motion and support for the funds for the pink ribbon request. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Health Department Community Health Worker Agreement moved by Commissioner Shackleton, supported by Commissioner Martin to approve and authorize signature of the Community Health Worker Agreement between Peninsula Health Plan and Chippewa County Health Department with quarterly reimbursement. On voice vote, motion carried. I so move.
Support.
Motion and support for health department community health worker agreements. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Health Department programming updates for home health, home care, private duty, and hospice. Moved by Commissioner Martin, supported by Commissioner Postula to acknowledge oversight and programming updates for home health, home care, private duty, and hospice services. On voice vote, motion carried. I would so move.
support,
Motion and support for health department, home health, home care, and hospice. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Information Systems bid summary moved by Commissioner McLean, supported by Commissioner Shackleton to approve the low bid for purchase of sonic wall firewalls. On voice vote, motion carried. I would so move.
support,
Motion and support for the bid summary of Sonic wall firewall. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
50th Circuit Court drug court contracts moved by Commissioner Shackleton, supported by Commissioner Martin to approve and authorize 50th Circuit drug court contracts. And Great Lakes Recovery Centers as presented on voice vote, motion carried. So move.
Support.
Motion and support for 50th Circuit drug court contracts. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
District Court moved by Commissioner McLean, supported by Commissioner Martin to approve and authorize the District Court Mental Health Court Grant Coordinator contract and the temporary probation office 30-day contract. On a voice vote, motion carried. I would so move.
Support.
Motion and support, district court mental health court and temporary probation officer. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Public defender contracts, legal services agreement. It was moved by Commissioner McLean, supported by Commissioner Martin, to approve and authorize the new legal services contract starting October 1st, 2022 through September 30th, 2023, as presented on the voice vote. Motion carried. I move.
Support.
Motion and support for the Michigan Indigent Defense Council Public Defender contract. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Sheriff's Department, moved by Commissioner Shackleton, supported by Commissioner Martin, to approve and authorize the recruitment video to be completed. Payment from the first responders grant monies and to release bids for vehicles listed above on the voice vote. Motion carried. That was so.
Support.
Motion and support for Sheriff's Department video recruitment video. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Register of Deeds, moved by Commissioner Martin, supported by Commissioner Postula, to approve Catherine Person's pay rate to the 90-day rate she was receiving prior to her brief exit. Voice vote. Motion carried. On it. So moved.
Support.
Motion and support for a wage adjustment for the Register of Deeds. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Central Dispatch, moved by Commissioner Shackleton, supported by Commissioner Postula, to approve and authorize enforcement assistance agreement with Dave Mills Community as presented. Approve the quote to upgrade the Eventide from Quality Recording Solutions, which was budgeted item for FY 2022 and waive county purchasing policy. Approve and authorize signature of FY 2022 Emergency Management Performance Grant. Initial work agreement on voice vote. Motion carried. I will so move.
Support.
Motion and support for Central Dispatch Enforcement Report Upgrade and Emergency Management Performance Grant. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Administration, release snow plowing and removal. RFQs, moved by Commissioner Shackleton, supported by Commissioner McLean, to release RFQs for snow plowing and removal on voice vote. Motion carried. I so move.
Support.
Motion and support for snow plowing RFQs. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Under administration, North Care 2023 County Liquor Tax Funding Request, Health Department, 50th Circuit Court, Public Defender's Office, was moved by Commissioner Shackleton, supported by Commissioner Postula, to accept and forward the FY 23 liquor tax funds requested as presented to North Care Substance Use Disorders. Voice vote. Motion carried. I would so move.
Support.
Motion and support for Health Department, 50th Circuit and Public Defender's Office. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Administration, moved by Commissioner Shackleton, supported by Commissioner McLean, to approve the subordination agreement for community home improvement loan from September 2007 to further assist the homeowner on voice vote. Motion carried. I would so move.
Support.
Motion and support for the subordination agreement. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Administration postage machine replacement, moved by Commissioner Martin, supported by Commissioner McLean, to approve postage machine on voice vote. Motion carried. I would so move.
Support.
Motion and support for a postage machine replacement. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Administration audit quote, moved by Commissioner McLean, supported by Commissioner Martin, to approve professional service agreement with Anderson Tech Company to complete county 2022, 23, and 24 audits for the county and health departments per year on voice vote. Motion carried. I would so move.
Support.
Anyway. Got that? Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Administration 44 North, moved by Commissioner Shackelford, supported by Commissioner Martin to approve and authorize the health care renewal for 44 North and to adopt the line of business as presented with potential additional savings and changes on dental and vision. On voice vote, motion carried. I will so move.
Motion and support for 44 North healthcare renewal. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Administration Program Income Certification, moved by Commissioner McLean, supported by Commissioner Postula. Knowledge and accept the program income certification. Nothing, noting the monies will be returned to the state of Michigan. On voice vote, motion carried. I will so.
Support.
Motion and support to send the money back to Lansing. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Administration was moved by Commissioner Shackelford, supported by Commissioner McLean to change the November finance claims and accounts meeting date on Monday, November 14th at 4:30 PM on voice vote. Motion carried. I will so.
Support.
Motion and support to move the meeting from opening day to November 14th. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Finance claims and accounts, moved by Commissioner Martin, supported by Commissioner Postula to recommend approval of the August county bills and payroll, general claims, other fund claims, payroll, and health department claims and payroll. On voice vote, motion carried. I would so move.
Support.
Motion and support to pay the bills. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Closed session, collective bargaining negotiations. It was moved by Commissioner Shackelford, supported by Commissioner Martin. Moved to enter into closed session to discuss collective bargaining negotiations. Roll call vote 5-0. Closed session begin at 5:48 PM. We need a motion on that. It was moved by Commissioner McLean, supported by Commissioner Shackelford to exit closed session. We're to discuss collective bargaining negotiations. Roll call vote 5-0. Return to open session at 5:55 PM. There were no committee comments, no chairman comments. Motion to adjourn by Commissioner Martin, supported by Commissioner Postula to adjourn at 5:58 PM. And I move for acceptance of the report as presented.
Support.
Motion and support to accept the finance claims and account committee meeting minutes. Any discussion? I would simply say thank you to Chairman Savoy for a very efficient meeting. Did a nice job. Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Treasury Board of Meetings as board representatives and general comments. Yes, sir, Commissioner.
Yes, I would like to, the lady that spoke about prisons, we actually discussed this the other day. There's not much we can do with state prisons at the county level, but it's my understanding and belief that when the state eliminated retirements and benefits, they lost. You know, there was a lineup of people to get those jobs locally. When they took that away, we said back then, it was 10, 12 years ago, that this would occur. So unless they bring back benefits, I mean, they got in my hometown, Rudyard, 4 intersections, they got signs. They're hiring people, but there's not a lot we can do, but if there ever is a resolution, I'd be happy to participate. The other thing I wanted to say is just make note, I would like to publicly thank the prosecutor and their staff. There's been some significant cases go to trial and convictions recently. They're doing just an outstanding job. I mean, some major big cases, and I kind of follow that. I just like to publicly thank them for their service.
Commissioner McLean, sir.
I was at prison liaison meeting the other day, and there's legislation in process right now in Lansing to return the pension benefits. They've finally recognized that, you know, they're 60 people short at the prisons between the two of them. And the lady said overtime, taking extra shifts and stuff like that is really chronic. At the MTA meeting last month, found out that Pickford is joining with the Kinross Ambulance Corps to take care of that area, Pickford Township. And they're looking to develop an authority. Kinross is sort of the big player in this game right now. And they take on these townships, but they also have to look at how they're going to pay the expenses. So up the road, they're going to be talking about some kind of an authority rather than, I don't know how to do it. They're talking about a millage or something like that. Also at the pension or at the prison liaison, there's still a COVID issue. It's in one prison, it's increasing. They still have their dog training program. They're still doing fundraising for various local charities. They had their gardens this summer for produce to various agencies around that give them out to people that are in need. From EDC, the general aviation terminal has, we thought we had it pretty well cornered. That's at the EDC out there for the regular people flying in. We set an opening program of October 20th. It's going to be most of the day. So if you would like to come or the public would like to come, or run into a few snags. So I hope that we can have everything ready when they get there. Same with the 20,000 square foot building that I mentioned, the bids came in. We were expecting a funding gap of $800,000 and it's doubled. And we're not sure exactly how we're going to handle that, but we're going back to the EDA for funding and seeing what we can do. So it's all in construction costs, materials and stuff like that. It's driven the price up. So that's it.
Just we're talking about the prisons and the jails. I just want to take the opportunity to thank the men and women who do work in the prisons and jails, because it's tough work and they play such an important role, and just very grateful that they're there.
Yeah, I was at the MTA meeting that Don was talking about too, and it was kind of news to me that Pickford was gonna be served by Kinross now. But the next problem with that, Pickford does half a Rayburn, and then that takes them farther down the road. And the millage has been talked about probably as long as I've been here. And if we do something like that, it's gonna be very expensive. So I think it's starting to show up. I think Detour Ambulance Corps, the average age is about 75 running that. So the day is coming. Drummond's having their problems too. They used to have a large corps. And the woman, that Tiffany that talked about the problems, you know, I haven't been going to MAC meetings or the UP boards, and those are the kind of places that they seem to take action and pass it on down to Lansing for problems like that. I encourage the new commissioners to go there. And speaking of new commissioners, we got a couple coming on. We used to have training through MSU. I don't know if they know what they're getting into when they get here, you know, to train them and be. Another thing, the commissioners haven't had a raise in about 25 years. Maybe this is the year to put that in the budget. Everybody else has been getting raises. I could say it because I'm not running, so I'd say they deserve a raise. Because with that, the other boards that we appoint to follow what we pay, you know, for per diem. So they should take a look at that. That's all I have.
I agree with Ted on that. That's something that I was going to bring up. Him and I are both leaving the commission, so we won't take any flack on that. But I think that
It's always hard to do because you got to do it on an election year, unless the rules have changed. But
yeah,
Well, even then, it's probably already too late. Probably has to be. I don't remember how the rule works.
I believe it's October.
Okay. You know, again, people, it's a very touchy subject when you talk about commissioners, city level or the county level, or anyone who runs for public office on being paid. But it is true that it has been at least 25 years since there was any increase at all. And I think I had floated the idea at one time is instead of taking a raise, let's just say from now on, it goes up at the rate of inflation. Because at least then it's steady with inflation, you know, and that was a couple of years ago that I was trying to. And again, not for me, because I've been here a long time too, and the number of terms I'm gonna be here are certainly limited at this point, you know. So I retired from work, but I'm gonna stay here for at least one more term, so. But I agree with it. I think it should go up a little bit, not a lot, but just a little bit, just to recognize the fact that what commissioners were paid 25 years ago is what they're paid now, and in reality, it's a whole lot less because you have all that compound inflation over 25 years.
Being a city commissioner, I look at city council and what they are paid, and they have more meetings than us. I still think we make a little more than them, so I'm not really for it. But anyhow, speaking of city, I wanted to touch base on that. Where were we at, Kelly, on city and how the new park construction, all that stuff is gonna, because these folks here, I don't want you all to not come or to go out and have a ticket because we're now enforcing parking 24/7, 365.
On Court Street, they will be subject to a ticket if there's not money in the meter. Is what we checked with the parking authority.
I have a
Now,
serious problem.
if you guys come to the meeting and you park in one of our lots, you'd be fine. So I think the people that are visiting, the problem is if the meeting starts at 4:30, that parking lot is still pretty full because it's employee parking.
Because at 5:30, it's not a problem. It's empty.
Right.
That's where I park,
So-
but
If you go park somewhere at, let's say you're going for a late dinner and you go park at 8 o'clock on Portage, you're supposed to put money in the meter now?
Yep.
Yes.
I don't know how they snuck that by. 'Cause I would have said something.
I know.
That's why we should make more than the city commission.
Yeah. Because we all recognize that was a bad idea.
I mean, that hurts downtown business at night.
That is. nice.
And it makes people angry. I will not shop in East Lansing, Michigan, because we stopped there coming back from Jackson Invite. A place to eat, supposed to be real good. We came out, all 6 cars had tickets. We had no idea that they enforced 24/7, 365, and they were not cheap tickets. And ever since then, I will never go in that town and buy a thing. And I don't want to make, our citizens or visitors to come and get whacked with a ticket. Like I said,
So even on Sundays too. I presume,
Even on Sundays, yeah.
24/7, wow.
if you're parking for church, better.
I don't know how they're gonna enforce it, because they're not gonna, it's my understanding it won't be the meter maid with extra hours. I believe it's the city police that would have to, so someone would have to call and say, oh, there's a white truck. I don't know.
Yeah, they're
I don't know
parking
how they're gonna
vehicles.
enforce it, police it.
Yeah, but again, that's always the problem. You don't make a law and then say it's okay because we're not gonna enforce it. You just don't make the law if it doesn't make sense,
Other issue on DOC and things like that I have here. Obviously, we have the liaison, so Tiffany, obviously reach out to you all with that. I think actually the DOC with the benefits being taken away and all that stuff is actually, I think, linked to some of our shortages of volunteers, because people used to retire from the prisons and the schools in their early mid-50s, and they got good 20, 25, 30 years that they could volunteer. Now, with my retirement the way it is, here I am. I'll be in my 60s before I retire, which is better than most people. I'm not complaining, but that's 5 or 10 less years that I could have volunteered and done things like that, because the retirement is not what it was. So I think some of these things are affecting. We have a smaller pool of retirees than we used to have, as far as that goes. The last thing I wanted to touch on was the fact that we went through this agenda, boom, 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 boom. We did discuss all these things on Tuesday. I don't know what you think we come in here with, you know, because that's what I was telling Commissioner Savoy did, it. I don't know how we did it in half an hour, but we went through every single one of these, talked about all of them. And came to an agreement there and then carried that agreement to this meeting, so. That's that. Anybody, anything else?
I move to adjourn.
Thank you, sir.
Support.
Motion and support to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Off we go.
You guys come to the city meeting a couple of times and